sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Las Vegas Raiders.
To kick off.
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
No. Off.
They'll run for the first time with Ashton Jedzie. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Right back to Jedzie on first down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The Raiders now at 2-5 to start play. And they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
And that'll be incomplete. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. They're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. They'll score out a 36-yard punt, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 21. On the ground, it's Irving to start the drive. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8.
Point it right. Undercrush. What's that? Undercrush.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Mayfield. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 1st and 10, here's Irvin. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. You look at this Raiders defense. They're a tough unit to throw against. Currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
2nd and 9.
Set. 20. Regular. Hey, switch gears. Watch.
Here's Mayfield. And his throw is incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
180. Done.
Mayfield down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And just a minute 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week they're coming up next weekend, so you have to figure taking it right down Broadway. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Ashton Jeanty, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Raiders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Irvin. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. field. There's a short one. Now the ball comes loose. And the Raiders pick it up. They find some open field here. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Bucs, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Let's go. Go.
2nd and 4. That's caught. It's Dante Thornton. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Raider first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Come on. Set to go.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two, because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Now this time he'll look to throw. He's got his man in stride, complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll go. Here's Genty. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Ashton Genty with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Raiders take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Baker changing the play at the line. Mayfield looks to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Baker going to give it to Irving. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
Buccaneers first down. First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a first and 10. Not liking the look. They'll change the play. Straight ahead, it's Irving. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last two snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field, but his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Point it right. Hey, we're 33.
In motion, the tight end. And Mayfield just getting the play off. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Bucky Irving, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs have cut it back within a score. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over. This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us.
Chase McLaughlin to kick off for the Buccaneers.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's 3rd and 7.
Let's go.
Back to throw here. And this throw will be intercepted. Loose inside the 30. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
At the 23-yard line.
Now Baker going to change it up.
Real.
A run up the middle with Irvin. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Second down and 6 now.
Run. 180. That's your man.
Now Mayfield. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Well, that move's all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6.
180.
Well, they'll audible to something else. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
180. Pistol.
The slot man in motion right. Mayfield to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Got to say, Charles, a little surprising to have a kick this short blocked. Usually that happens on the longer ones, but great job by the special teams to kind of sift through there and get a hand on it.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of football over time, partner, and you're right about it. Typically, the longer field goals start lower because they have so much more ground to cover to get to the post. And that's when you get a hand on it. These short ones, you're able to pop it up in the air pretty quickly. Normally, you get height. In this case, extra effort to block that one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
A give up the middle to Singletary. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. That'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
And the Las Vegas.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. He'll look to throw. That's to Powers once again. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 35.
13 yards.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
First down. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Set. Cougar 19.
They'll look to throw again.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
On the double.
Second and 10.
Here we go. Set. Go.
A run straight ahead with Genty.
Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30.
111 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Here we go. Here we go.
Looking to throw. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch.
An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play. Move on.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And they won't try and approach it. It's a fake. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. The field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the block.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked up by Leo Chanel.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Go. Panther 60.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
To the left side, pass caught by Thornton.
And he's taken down inside the 30. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
Raider first down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
Ready. Come on. Check go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Bowers. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
60 Bison.
On first down, it's Genty. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on first down.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
This Tampa Bay defense, they held strong on the first 2 plays. Now third and goal.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Back to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Chris Olave, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a nice return, but he's going to pay for it as they knock him down hard at the end. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have a great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal. And they'll certainly have the green light here. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down.
Second and 7.
Watch the motion. 180.
Slot man moves right.
What's that?
They keep it on the ground. White again. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. So this a 2-possession ball game as we get back underway, set for the third quarter.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there. I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half. And once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
180. Up, back in, back in. Done.
To throw, Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
180. Done.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. They run out of the gun with Urban. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Up, 20. Done.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. This is caught by Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, his first touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers are back within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6.
Chase McLaughlin to kick off for the Buccaneers.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, When they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Olave over the middle. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first.
A gain of 7.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
For the Raiders.
Cole now on to punt, and he sends this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Mayfield going to switch things up here. Once again, it's Irvin. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Mayfield. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 34. Here's Mayfield. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Mayfield now. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Kings, Kings, Kings! Good. 180! What's up?
Handoff running left, Irving. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
At the 12-yard line.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal?
180!
Now they'll change things around before the snap.
What's up?
Mayfield looks to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Max Crosby able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Regular. Alert, push. Dad.
They'll drop to throw. That's going to be caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Chris Godwin, 26 yards. And the Bucs are an extra point away from taking the lead here in the 4th. McLaughlin for the extra point. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter.
Makes the score Buccaneers 21, Raiders 20. Chase McLaughlin.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
On the jump.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the 2nd half. They'll need to change that here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Go! 60 Eagle! Go!
2nd and 9 now. Well, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Good. 180! Hey, alert,
Baker changing the play at the line. That would give Irving running right.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. Run.
What's the line? What's the boot?
Now Mayfield. Looking middle, and he's got Ibuka. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Mayfield to throw it. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Good. 180. Alert. What's up?
Here's a handoff to Irving.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
What's up?
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And it's caught. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Here we go. A big play and a tight game late. They're going on 4th and goal.
180. What's up?
I got him, man. I got him. He's mine.
That.
Mayfield on play action. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And the Raiders hang tough down near the goal line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. A real opportunity for them. Their defense got the key 4th down stop. Now all they need is a field goal to snag the lead.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach would always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Ready up.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
Back to throw now in his own end zone.
They'll get this out to Genty.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for it with Genty. Shifts by at the 15. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Once again, it's Genty. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 128 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Raiders, first down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. This is 1st and 10.
Set. 70 Lions.
Back to throw. And this one's incomplete.
Intended for Dante.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
Let's go now.
He's back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Genty. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17.
Oh, I know it goes against the grain here. It totally goes against it, but you've got to drop the ball in that situation. He makes a catch, but he loses yards and doesn't get out of bounds.
A big play needed, no doubt. 3rd and long.
Here we go. Here we go.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
4th down.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Set. 180. Kings.
Go.
What's up?
A shotgun handoff here to Irving. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
They picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
At the 7.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
180. Set.
Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
180. Up. What's that?
Irving is into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
And that touchdown puts them up 7. But now's when the fun begins, partner, because if you go ahead and kick the extra point, it's still a one-possession game. Go for 2, you might put it out of reach.
Yeah, a little decision to be made. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And with that, the lead is up to 8.
Makes the score Buccaneers 28, Raiders 20. Chase McLaughlin to kick
Following
off
the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Down! Cougar 19! He's coming to you. I'm coming. Motion. Hey.
They'll look to throw. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Just over 50 seconds remain. Here's 2nd and 10.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready, set.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
Ready.
Back to throw. He's got his target. It's Olave. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their #1 receiver.
Yeah, you think they'd be ready for that? That time they weren't. Well, this offense still has the 1 timeout here, remember. 1st and 10. Short throw caught by Bowers. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn the field and gain any yardage.
They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Set. Go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a 1-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
Here's 2nd down.
Come on. Ready.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Oh, and this is nervous time now. They decided to go for it right there. Fortunately, still a little bit of time left for another shot, but this one almost certainly has to be in the end zone.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10.
One final shot. They'll look to throw.
They'll try and do this himself.
And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
What a thrilling fourth quarter this one was. Well, at least, I guess, if you're cheering for the winning side, an outstanding comeback, though, that saw them completely take control and change the outcome of this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of us saw that coming, the way that they were playing and having the lead after 3 quarters. A little bit of a stunning ending because it wasn't just a one-touchdown swing. It was a multiple touchdown swing for them to end up losing that ball game. Give credit where credit is due. They came off the pace and got it done.
So for the Buccaneers,
they level their mark at 4-4 on the year.
And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.